As you listen, no. As you drift. As you drift, perhaps you're already beginning to wonder. What if it's not about trying to change, but remembering who you already are? Because there's something magnetic, is there not, about someone who never criticizes, never condemns, never complains. Someone who speaks not from a wound, but from wisdom. Imagine stepping into a conversation, not armed with judgment, but armoured with grace. A colleague forgets a deadline. Do you lash, or do you lift? Hey, I know there's a lot on your plate. Let's simplify next time. And in that small moment, what shifts? Trust deepens, respect grows, a neural pathway opens where criticism once lived, compassion now resides. Because remember this, kindness rewires faster than cruelty. Now picture someone who doesn't just offer appreciation. They give it as if it were sunlight, and everyone they meet begins to bloom under its warmth. The way you handle that call today, brilliant. You bring so much calm to the chaos. What happens? Dopamine, oxytocin, alignment, growth. What begins as praise becomes potential unleashed. And if you can speak to someone's eager want, you no longer need to persuade, you align, you evoke, you awaken. What would it feel like to walk into that room, knowing everyone looked to you for direction? Can you imagine being the reason this team becomes legendary? They say influence is power, but no. True influence is presence. Presence tuned to another's frequency. Now do this. Be genuinely interested. Not strategically. Not as a tactic, but as a truth. What excites you these days? What's one thing you never get tired of talking about? And now smile. Why? Because the face is the body's emotional dashboard, and a smile signals to others you're safe, I'm open, you matter. And yes, say their name. Say it like it's sacred, because to each soul, their name is the echo of significance. It's good to see you, Ava. Thank you, Marcus. That really meant a lot. When they speak, listen, not to respond, but to revere. What if your silence was the most generous sound in the room? Tell me more. What was that like for you? And as they speak, you start to feel something shift, not in them, in you. Because to know another is to become more of yourself. Now look deeper. What if every conversation was a stage? And your role is not to dominate the spotlight, but to light others up. Talk in terms of their interests. You love strategy, right? I've got something you'll geek out over. Make them feel important. And do it with reverence. Without your insight, this would have fallen apart. You hold it together. Avoid the argument. Why? Because when you fight, you often lose a person. When you let go of the need to be right, you become a mirror in which others find their dignity. That's an interesting take. Tell me more. You might be onto something I haven't considered yet. And if you're wrong, admit it quickly, boldly, without hesitation. That one's on me. Let me fix it. Because vulnerability is a leadership trait, not a liability. When you begin a conversation, begin warmly. A warm entry paves the road to open minds. Hey, I've been looking forward to talking with you. I really appreciate you making time. Let them say yes, yes. Start with what they've already agreed to, already believe, already desire, because when agreement flows early, influence flows naturally. Let them talk. Let them feel the idea was theirs. Let them own the win. Because if they build it, they believe it. Now consider, what happens when you truly see the world from their point of view? When you say, if I were in your shoes, I might feel exactly the same. You melt resistance, you create understanding, you open hearts. When you appeal to their higher self, you awaken what was sleeping. You've always had a way of bringing people together. That's rare. This project could change lives, and you're the one to do it. Now dramatize. Paint the vision so vividly they taste it, touch it, see it. Picture this, it's lunch day. Your name is everywhere. Clients are flooding in, and you feel unstoppable. Challenge them, not to diminish, but to demand their brilliance. Let's make this happen. I know you can. Prove me right. And when correction is needed, start with praise. You've done an amazing job so far. Let's just tweak this one part. Call attention to errors indirectly. Maybe there's another way to look at this. And yes, lead by sharing your own stumbles. I've made that mistake before. It's how I learned to. Ask questions. How do you think we can solve this? Let them solve it. Let them shine. Let them save face. Don't corner, create space. Don't blame, build back up. Praise everything. Small wins, baby steps, new attempts. That's it, you're getting there. Every time I see you do this, you're getting better than before. And give them a reputation to rise to. You've always been someone who handles pressure with grace. Make faults feel light, correctable, non-defining. That's just a calibration, an easy fix. And finally, make them happy to do what you suggest. Let it feel like freedom, not obligation. Let it feel like honour, not demand. This would make a huge difference, and I know you'll knock it out of the park. So now, let these ideas swirl and settle. Let them marinate in your unconscious like seeds soaking in fertile soil. You don't need to try, because your unconscious already knows how to take in these patterns, how to learn them without effort, how to become what you always were beneath the noise. A person of influence, a voice of empathy, a presence of powerful peace. As you go forward, you'll notice, without even trying, do you speak differently, listen more deeply, connect more effortlessly? Because this isn't something you do, this is something you are.